U.S. President Joe Biden will address a joint session of Congress Tuesday night for his second State of the Union address amid a disappointing report card showing that 62% of Americans think he has not accomplished much during his 2 years on the job. But the president has in his favor the lowest U.S. unemployment rate in 50 years, with hundreds of thousands of new jobs being added to payrolls every month. For more on what to expect tonight, let's go live to Capitol Hill, where Theo Ignatius Annor is standing by in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Hello, Ignatius.
Hi, Esther. Good to see you again.
Definitely. Now, you know, high inflation is the talk of town right now and across the country. Is the president likely to address this issue during his State of the Union address tonight?
Esther, just last month, President Joe Biden celebrated at the White House news that inflation continues to go down 3 months in a row. It was a good thing for the White House. And also with economists continuing to say that it looks like the country risks slipping back into recession, despite what President Joe Biden says has been a good job done as far as the economy is concerned. It would essentially be something that will take a chunk of his address, because pundits are saying that it would also be him setting the stage for perhaps an election rerun in 2024. And so that's going to be a key part of what he's going to talk about. He will be touting, for instance, a key legislation that was passed by the last Congress, which is the Inflation Reductionary Act, and what that has been able to achieve for the American people, i.e., prices continuing to fall and things looking stronger or much brighter ahead. Esther.
Some are hinting, Ignatius, that the president may be eyeing a rerun of the presidential bid during the next, come the 2024 election year. But some are very concerned about his age. What are you hearing?
It's absolutely a concern that has failed the halls of Congress as well, not just locals on the streets in this country. But let me take you back to what happened in 1894 when Ronald Reagan was speaking before, the presidential debate in Kansas, where the question was posed to him, because at the time he was the oldest, presidential candidate on the campaign trail. The question was, would he be able to run again at 73 years old? And indeed, he said yes. The U.S. Constitution has no limit as far as the upward age is concerned. For, senators or vice president or the president is 25 years and 35 years at the very minimum, but there's no age limit. And President Joe Biden has repeatedly said that he is in good shape. And so if this is a concern that is coming up, which, members here are raising, it's something that he's repeatedly said that he's in good shape to run for.
Ignatius, this year there are no COVID protocols, so the president will address the State of the Union. But do we know who are the notables invited tonight?
Absolutely. A Democratic representative of New York has invited the parents of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols, the black man who was bitten and later died in hospital by 5 Memphis police officers in Tennessee just last month. So their parents will be, in the halls of the chamber when President Biden addresses, the nation to draw attention to gun safety and police brutality, which is also going to be something that President Joe Biden is going to call for. He's also going to talk about the key legislation that was passed in 30 years, the gun legislation that was passed by the previous Congress. And then also when you go to the Republican side, the House Foreign Affairs Chair, Mike McCall, has also made an invitation to the very first female Afghanistan ambassador to the United States, Roya Romani, also to draw attention to the controversial withdrawal of the United States from Afghanistan. Just so you know, the House has begun a high-level investigation into how and what happened when, the administration withdrew from Afghanistan, and the kind of, criticisms that drew from across the country and the globe. So these two people, we should be expecting them in the House later tonight.
Ignatius, thank you very much for your reporting.
Thank you, Esther, for having me.